Councillor Bamford.
I'm hearing, Your Worship, that the EA process is ongoing right now. I think that's what you're saying. And are you under the impression that there's going to be other situations or other meetings where people can make statements or make a position?
Well, I think if I hear Sean correctly, is they're right now in the process of negotiating with the proponent, Woods Power, and I believe that I wouldn't assume it would go public before their agreement would be that they would be in agreement. Once they are, then I believe that EA process would go forward with public meetings, that people would have that ability to go in and comment and make comments regarding the project.
Okay.
And then that responsibility would come back from the proponent to answer those questions or concerns, and they would probably have a second, maybe even up to a third public meeting. I would think that's how it would work. And if I'm wrong, just correct me there.
Yeah, I mean, all I have is my experience on the Kapuskasing River project. I mean, it took us 2 years before we started. We did the notice of commencement on the project, which required public meetings, but the actual EA screening project process where you submit all your documentation, and the thing is about this thick.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen them. Sometimes double that. But anyways, we just started that in November, and we've been at that thing for 3 or 4 years. So I would say that on this, the formal EA process, the screening where all the regulatory agencies are involved, won't be for at least another year.
Yeah.
But there are other public meetings that are required through the policy, and that's the notice of commencement, where you have to have public sessions. And there's probably a few of them upcoming, and will be ongoing as we move forward. The plan of development, again, I'm just referring to my experience on the Kapuskasing River. We changed that 3 or 4 times before we came to the best solution that did a number of things. One, addressed the economics of the project, and 2, mitigated to the extent possible the environmental concerns. So instead of putting 2 sites that were going to be large and you're not allowed to flood past the high point of the where you were, but it maintained a better aesthetic flow, and the aesthetics were better. We went to 4 different sites at 5 megawatts each. So here in this case, as Chris has said, the plan of development by Woods Power is out, but when we go through the process of public consultation and determining what actual flows are and get out there on the site a little more, I mean, we could do some changes. And for all we know, maybe when the spring and summer is over and we determine that the flows aren't actually what we thought they were, maybe the project is not going to go forward. I don't know.
Yeah.
We haven't determined that yet.
It's in the very, very early stages. So this is not the last time we hear about this process or have an opportunity to discuss the process. Anyway, I think we've discussed this. I'd like to thank Sean and Chris for coming tonight and sharing your stuff with us. And if there's a need to come back at any point in time, don't be shy.